Welcome to the Hansen Brothers podcast. I'm Timmy and joined by my brother Kevin. We are teammates and world champions in Rallycross. This podcast is our space to catch up while traveling the motorsport world.
So welcome to today's podcast. We are just laughing because both of us are not feeling on top right now. So Kevin, you just landed from a long overnight flight.
Yeah,
From Miami back to London. Me,
feel destroyed.
I'm in Jeddah for E1, and I got some kind of food poisoning or something. Last night was rough, but
I called you. Normally we record on the Tuesdays, and I called you, or you called me yesterday when we were like, when should we start recording? Obviously with the 9-hour time difference, you were like, how are you? I was like, what's wrong? You're like, I have food poisoning. So I was like, okay, have you taken any pills? Have you drank water? You're like, no. I was like, fantastic. Good start. So maybe do that and sleep and eat something and go to bed and sort your body out. And I don't know, are you feeling better today?
I am, yeah. I did go down to have breakfast, and so many great people here sorting me out.
And it stayed in the body?
Stayed. I got some coconut water here, and I got some hydration tablets and fruits, and I don't know. I'm feeling better. I think, those
just
things pass quite fast.
Be careful with having too much vitamins, because that can also, when I was had a cold one time, I was so stressed to get healthy again, and then I just took so much vitamins, and that can also cause your digestive system to get very unbalanced. So just have a bit, but not crazy amounts of fruits and all of vitamin stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta be well for Friday, really. Friday, Saturday is the race. So today when we record is Wednesday, and luckily today is the day off. We've been testing and working flat out for how long? Almost a week. So 3 days of testing, 1 race day simulation, 4 days in a row, on the water, preparing for the season coming up. And today is rest day, luckily, and tomorrow is driver's briefing and all that before Friday qualifying day, Saturday race day.
How's testing been? I know it was quite positive the first day. You said you have learned a lot over the winter, because I've not seen anything from testing. So you gotta give us the proper behind the scenes here.
Yeah, and no, there is nothing from testing. So it was great. The first day we were the quickest. So hard work over winter, great lap time the first day, just getting back into stuff. Wow, okay, we're in the game. And then I have a new teammate, Marit Strømøy from Norway. She's also a professional singer, by the way. Do you know that? She's been in Melodifestivalen,
Eurovision Song Contest.
Yeah, but in Norway. She's really good. So She had 3 nights back-to-back concerts before coming here. So she arrived a day late.
Mad.
You're going from rock stars to race driver. Pretty epic life.
She's living the dream.
Yeah, so she got to drive all of the second day. And this boat is really different. She's a Formula 1 powerboat driver, and she's super familiar with how to drive that. But that boat has a ton of power, super fast, and requires a very different driving style. And in the E1 boat, you got to understand how the foils are working. And it's kind of half boat, half airplane, because you got the wings, and how you steer the boat is a bit like an airplane too. But I think she got a hang of it. It wasn't super great her test day, but then she did an awesome race yesterday. It was race simulation. She took the start, she led the race, she pulled away from everyone else, drove fantastic. Cool. So I think she's gotten into positive. It. Yeah. I had a bit harder time after that first day when I was the fastest, and I didn't improve on day 3 of testing, and some other guys went really fast. So I did a 108. Typical lap time is around 112 maybe, and I'll push it down to 108, which was kind of a lot of people had done that. I did that already the first day. No one had been there yet. By the last day, loads of people had done 108s. I only managed the same 108 again, and some guy did a 104. Rafa.
Oh wow!
So finding 4 seconds faster, which is insane.
But it's how's the water? Is it very flat, so you can foil constantly, or is it a little bit wavy and you crash down sometimes?
It's very flat, so it's very good conditions. But it's kind of easy to foil. It looks like everybody is keeping the boat quite well on top of the water and controlling it well.
He must have gained in not going too deep or opening the corners or something, not to get a big dip in speed, because 4 seconds, it must just be one of the major in the points where it's a major dip in speed, you know?
So yeah, he looks super smooth on the straights. And then there are a couple fast corners, and like he puts a foil down into the water, like hooks it in the fast corners. And we're trying to avoid that. We've seen like you're losing speed, so like dropping a foil down is like hitting the brakes. So he's doing that on the fast corners, but it's very quickly getting back
distance or
on the foil. Yeah, and then in the slow corners, I think that's where he's gaining a lot of time. He's doing that same like hooking the inside foil, like slamming the brakes on. But then what he does different is that somehow managing to get back onto the foil in the middle of these long, slow corners. And I just can't get that to come back up. So like I'm sitting.
You think he's very aggressive on the dials to angle the engine back or something to push the boat up quick?
Yeah, like I'm sitting like stuck at 50. Like it doesn't want to. It does 50 kph, 55 maybe through this long turn, and it feels like it's taking forever. And like if I trim up more, then I just fall off of the outside foil and like crash down. So that's not really it. He must straight. I don't know how he's doing it. Maybe he's using a bit of boost there to get extra power, to have the speed
through
lift him up out of the water.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a bit tricky, but I think to gain 4 seconds, and he's looking good on the straights, but not like outstanding on top of anyone else. It must be in those slow corners where he's finding a bit of time.
Yeah.
But yeah, that team, Rafa, they looked super strong in the race simulation as well. But, they're super fast and they didn't win the start one race. And we're just, simulating racing. He's going for a crazy last second pass into one of the slow corners. And, okay, the boat in front didn't leave him room, but it was also an optimistic move, moving in very late before the buoy. So he crashes into this buoy absolutely dead on.
Really?
Damages the boat, destroys the buoy. It's like
ridiculous.
Yeah,
it's just embarrassing.
So I mean, they have looked shaky and their starts have been off. So it's all interesting. It's all interesting. My last race yesterday, when I was already kind of starting to feel bad actually, but I jumped back in the boat and got my last race. I did take the start. And one interesting factor.
Keep that up.
Yeah, one interesting thing this year is that we have both a shortcut and a joker lap. So
okay, that could be quite good. What's the rule with shortcut then?
You can take the shortcut once and you have to take the joker lap once. The joker lap's about like 16 seconds slower and the shortcut's about 7 seconds faster. So
and still 5 laps or
6 laps. And
6
we
laps,
did.
okay.
So I had the lead, but we didn't shortcut. It's not allowed to do any of that in the first lap. So the first time around, being allowed to do another track, we didn't take the shortcut from the lead, and that allowed P2 to shortcut and get ahead of me. So I think we learned something there with the strategy, how you got a shortcut to defend your lead if you're there. I had a bit of dirty water. I shortcut the lap after I regained the lead. I'm pushing hard. Team Brady, who were the champions last year, he jokered the first lap. So you already see how this strategy stuff is getting kind of crazy. They jokered the first lap and was way back, but with clean water as well. So they were chasing me, and we exit 1 lap from the end, side by side. It was a great battle, both on the boost, trying to keep it on the foils through a fast right. And I was like half a boat too slow to turn in. So they had the inside for the next corner. I had a very dirty water, and then the boat I've been fighting with just before gained a lot of time on me because I was in that battle. So when they jokered, they got out ahead. So I went from the lead to third, which was like, it's not great, but it was a good race. I think we learned some stuff with the strategy, and we keep
is going to
fighting.
be huge if it's 2 different, let's say, jokers you can take, and it's a bit like in Salt Lake 2019 when we had the main lap was the gap jump, and then you had to take, because it was like a second and a half slower, the tabletop, and then like 4 or 5 seconds slower was the tunnel. So you had to take the tabletop and the gap jump, the tabletop and the tunnel once, both of them during the final race, and it was also 6 lap, and that was super tricky for the spotters to know really which one to commit to first, and should you I think you took both of them. You took the tabletop on the first lap and then the tunnel second lap, and I just waited everything. I took the tabletop on the 5th lap and then the tunnel on the 6th to make sure I had still a big gap. It's really complicated for the spotters, so it's going to be a lot about spotters now.
We made the job for our spotters very easy that race, didn't we? Because I had a terrible start and you had a great start. I was last, you were first. So if you're last, you just get it out the way, right? So we just took the slow lanes the first 2 laps, and then we pushed on, and you just kind of waited until the end. And Graham, your spotter, he kept checking the stopwatch the first half of the lap race, and then he said in the end, like, I just don't know what anyone else has done. So he just shouted on the radio to push.
So complicated.
Yeah, it was very complicated, but it's interesting.
You need to. What's your setup then, or is there a rule how many people you can be in the box to spot and navigate the race?
No, but we are a bit short. So we got the race engineer, spotter, and team manager. So the way we have aligned it now is that the spotter talks to me about the race, the engineer is doing the strategy, and team manager is doing the politics with protests and stuff. So
can't the other pilots be part of that setup?
They can, absolutely. But you know how it's a bit difficult when you're in your race and then you have this role, you have that role. I think it's better if one person is focused on the same job every time.
But it's good to have more eyes and things and be ready. So it's good. I think the more people you are in the box, it's a bit like command center and extremely. It's good to be there in case someone misses something, or you come up with a good idea.
Yeah, definitely.
At least,
so
I'll be there and ready and feel the race. And same for Morit, to be there around and sense when you're in the I was gonna say the car in the boat.
Yeah, it's a fantastic place to sit. Did you see my story the other day? Like my opus today?
You're almost throwing up again.
I'm sorry. Excuse me. It was it's like a fantastic office to sit there. Like you've got a warm breeze coming in and the water's right in front of you. You're relaxing, like leaning back in this office chair, and and you have a racetrack right ahead with like interesting stuff to watch and engage in.
That's not dirty and dusty and it's perfect.
Exactly.
Nice ocean breeze.
Like holiday plus racing combined. Yeah.
That's nice. So then how's the main thing? How's the hospitality looking?
That's massive. That is absolutely next level. Like you think next level and then you add another level.
I remember that from the last time.
Yeah, and then you add another level. Like it's insane. They're building, it looks like a permanent building with like wood. It looks like a permanent 2-story building with a balcony and a whole event area with like showrooms and stuff around. This whole thing just for the weekend.
Incredible. I mean, I remember that was the main thing after the first race in E1. You said everything's very new and stuff and it's cool. But hospitality is the unbelievable part.
Yeah. It's insane. Like when
so
we arrived,
bigger than last time.
It was nothing. I think it's about the same size, but like 2-story, massive balcony, best spot to view the race from. Like and also like the show area, they're like cutting metal, welding together structures, and then covering that in nice looking whatever it is, plastic or something, to build these like E1 futuristic-ish sculptures. I don't know what it's gonna look like because it's not done yet, but it's so far looking insane. And to last year when we were here, we saw this massive hospitality, and then just 1 or 2 weeks later, we came back to exactly this hotel for Extreme E when we were racing out in the desert instead.
Oh, okay.
And then
which hotel are you?
4 Points by the water in Jeddah.
Okay, in Jeddah.
And I came here with Eric Farron, from team manager in Yellow Squad, a day early because the flight times were a bit awkward. So we decided to come a day early. We had dinner here. I walked out to show him the event site. and the tents were still there, but kind of everything else was gone. This massive building gone. It's like not a trace.
It's so mad how they just, just pops up for an event and everything is gone, and then, but we never see those things. We always leave just when the event is done.
Yeah.
There's so many people still working after. Yeah.
But
I mean, it's cool. I really want to go to one of the races. I would like to go to Qatar because I like Qatar Airways. So I want to fly Qatar Airways. And then I would like to go to Qatar because I hear a lot of good things. And then also I would like to see the E1 race. So I need to have a look. It's in Wednesday in February, right?
Yeah, it's in about 1 month.
Yeah.
We have the second race. That's going to be good.
So,
it's going to be in a residential area. I've seen pictures of the place. Looks very like central. It's on an island outside of Doha, but connected with a bridge. Our hotel is just going to be 5 minutes walk from the event site. I'm actually here too. Just out here is the racetrack. So
nice.
Yeah, it's
very convenient series.
Convenient, nice, And the thing is that we're not in a bowl of dirt as Extreme E and Rallycross tracks are built in, so it's not dusty and everything. And it's summer, and you're by the water, and you're just having a good time.
Are you sure it's holiday or is it actually racing?
No, this is somewhere in the gray zone in the middle between holiday and racing.
Oh yeah, that's nice. So they prepping tomorrow and then and then 2 race days, right?
Yeah, exactly. Qualifying day and race day. So the race format this year is qualifying. You get 3 laps to set a good time. They combine the 2 pilots and you get your time qualifying score. Then there is a single qualifying race. So you know how format's always complicated. There is a single qualifying race where only one of the pilots will race, but also the starting position here is huge. Like if you're on the outside, like I was in one of the practice races yesterday.
So for to come into the apex.
There is a rule. No, there is a rule in boat racing that you have to keep your line until past the first buoy.
Oh, that's bullshit.
Yeah, so I was 5th. I had to leave 5 boats gap on the left, even though I was clear inside. And then you just go a million miles around the outside, and everybody.
Surely you can gray zone that a little bit and say,
I think so, but I think so because there's never been a penalty for it. So I think we can be harder than we are. And for me, it just feels so unnatural to go so far. But the problem is that there is no physical mirror on the boat. There is some camera that is absolutely useless. So you don't know who's
like
behind.
The extreme mirrors.
Yeah,
the cameras.
You don't know who's behind. So you are 100% relying on your spotter to give you an accurate call if you can turn or not, which is kind of scary.
Yeah.
And you can't really turn in and feel they're there, like in Rallycross. Kind of scrub a bit because I don't know. This boat
contact is not allowed.
No, it's not allowed. But racing has already been more aggressive this year than last, so I think things are heating up and margins will be smaller. Like covering someone off, turning in onto the buoy when they're trying to pass is for sure the best way to be defensive. No, cutting them off.
Just don't crash, because I don't fancy drowning situations.
No, me neither.
So leave maybe a boat gap, or just be quick and take the start. So you don't have to be in weird positions.
Yeah, but then I have to turn in and risk it, so I get the lead.
Yeah, I'll leave it too. So where would we watch it?
YouTube probably. I don't know. Someone, mom and dad will know for sure. They always find these things out.
Find out with them.
I don't know.
And when do you come back home? On Monday, Tuesday?
I fly on Sunday.
Sunday.
Yeah.
So you'll be home Sunday or Monday.
Yeah, Sunday late. I'll be home.
Okay.
So I've been out here for a long time. But in the next episode we'll be back home. Are you in Sweden sometime soon?
I haven't booked anything yet, but I know I'll be coming back to Sweden next week at some point.
Nice. It'll be good to see you again. It's been a long time.
Yeah. It's been I haven't seen you since last year.
Classic January joke.
Yeah. Classic.
It's actually getting too late in January to do it though.
Yeah, it's for 3 weeks in now.
Yeah. No, it will be good to see you. Next episode we might be recording together then in the workshop.
No, I will not be on Monday, Tuesday next week.
Okay.
Later. So next week will be remote again. Well, first, win the race.
Yeah.
And I hope you have a nice bonus so you can, celebrate
party.
when you come back.
There's no party in Saudi. There's no alcohol is
party.
illegal in this country.
Yeah. Well, it's no. Some places we don't have to bring it up. Some places started to be allowed, I think. So. Slowly.
Not here.
Well,
yeah.
Politics is not for the podcast.
No. So thanks for tuning in for this episode. For everyone listening, it's always a pleasure that you're doing it. Leave a like if you enjoyed it.
Subscribe also, and now I think I need to sleep.
Me
for
too.
5 minutes.
See you next week.
Catch you next week.
Next episode next Thursday. Bye.